I have a Buderus GB142 and woke up this morning with no heat/hot water. I'm getting error codes of P12 and H7, low pressure. The tech is telling me that it is a combustion fan, but combustion is clearly visible through the window, and you can feel the fan sucking in air if you put your fingers over the intake nozzle. Additionally, there is a leak in the system at the boiler. When I manually let more water into the system by opening the input water pressure valve, the pressure goes up to 22 and the H7 code goes away, leaving the system working fine. Any thoughts?
Hello, this is Scott.
Hi Scott, so what do you think?
I just pulled up the GB142 manual I hadn't had a chance to view.
Okay, let me know.
When you say tech, do you mean a factory tech or a service tech over the phone?
A service tech actually came to the house to evaluate the situation.
Really?
Yes. He went ahead and ordered a combustion fan, but I really don't think that is the problem.
Is your boiler hooked to radiators or a fin tube baseboard?
Most of the house is hot water radiators, but the kitchen, which is on a separate thermostat, is water baseboard.
1 or 2 story house?
Actually 3.
So you have a normal boiler operating pressure of about 18 to 20, correct?
I have never paid attention to the pressure before, but presumably it is somewhere between 20 and 30.
I'd like to see it between 15 to 18 if we can get heat to the 3rd floor with that pressure. We don't want to get close to 30 or the relay valve lets go. Especially on longer runs with colder temps. Does your boiler have an automatic fill valve with an O bypass fast fill?
The relief valve lets go frequently. The house is approximately 40 feet tall, and even before I converted from oil, the pressure in the system was always pretty high due to the height of the structure.
What kind of expansion tank do you have?
Yes, it does. In fact, the way I got it back up above 20 was to manually open it for a few seconds. Not sure, let me go check. It is a small red tank that looks to be about 2 to 3 gallons in volume.
Right, because generally the pressure reducing valve is set to maintain 12 pounds per square inch, and can be adjusted higher.
It is an ITT Bell & Gosset model HFT expansion tank.
I was reading the manual, man, that's a lot of codes.
The P codes indicate the system water pressure. H just means the heating system is active, but H7 means that the water pressure is too low. I am not sure, but I think it needs to be above 15 pounds per square inch to operate.
What is the age of your boiler?
It's about 6 years old.
Okay, this leak you have, do you know where it is?
Not really. There's always a puddle at the boiler, and I think it is probably the pressure relief valve. The water here is pretty bad, and that part usually needs to be replaced annually.
Is there a small air eliminator in the circuit also? Taco or Mado misdect?
There is. I think they refer to it as a burper, but I don't know the make or model. It appears to be effective, because there is never any need to bleed any of the radiators. Some of them needed to be bled weekly before I converted from the old oil system.
Correct. This is what you need to check on the bottom or the top of the expansion tank. Is a valve stem like on a tire? It may be under a plastic cap. Once you find it, push on the stem core to let a little air out. What you are doing is testing to see if the diaphragm inside is ruptured. If you get water, it's shot. If you get air, you may have to charge the tank to 15 to 18 pounds per square inch. I would like to see a bigger expansion tank though, but that was the contractor's choice, so I have to live with it.
Let me go check that right now.
If the expansion tank is waterlogged, it will cause your relief valve to keep opening. And unless there is a pressure sensing thermistor in the boiler that senses vent pressure, the combustion fan has nothing to do with your challenge. There is a vent pressure switch, however, if it malfunctioned or the combustion fan failed, the boiler would not burn at all.
It is a spirovent microbubble resorber and I couldn't really do anything, it is too calcified at the valve. There is definitely combustion, because I can actually see the flame through the small round window at the combustion manifold.
Did you happen to check the expansion tank?
I knocked on it to see if it seems waterlogged, but I couldn't really tell.
When I mentioned the tire stem thing, that was on the tank, not the air eliminator.
Okay, where would that be? On the top, bottom, back? I am not sure there is anything like that on the tank, but I'll go check again.
If it has it, it will be under a plastic cap on the end opposite of the end screwed into the system. I'm not sure how yours is mounted on the boiler system relative to top or bottom. http://document-library.silemapplied-water.com/files/document/2011/05/7516.pdf. That is a link to the expansion tank PDF instruction. It give you a view inside.
Okay, found it. It is at the bottom of the tank. I unscrewed the cap, pressed the tire valve release, and got only air.
Okay, give me a moment for charging instructions. Typically you stop the boiler, relieve the pressure to 0, then with a tire gauge measure the pressure. You want it equal to your normal operating pressure. So if it is lower than 12 pounds per square inch, use a bicycle tire pump and pump it up to 15 to 18.
Okay, let me try that. I need to step away for a while, but I'll be back on later. Should I do the rating now, or after we are completely done?
Go ahead and rate, and you can come back to this later.
Thanks, Scott.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.